And all right, ladies and gents, welcome to our weekly Arcaden AMA. I'm glad we managed to make this week's happen. It's been a really busy week for me. I didn't have any time on the weekdays because we're rushing on the product side of things, but I thought it would be a good opportunity just to try it out on a weekend and also a slightly different timing from what we normally do. Because our team's based in Singapore, it's actually 2 a.m. now. For me, I play a lot of video games, so it's all right for me. But I think the rest of our team's sleeping. But yeah, awesome. Really appreciate all of you guys for hopping on. I see a lot of new faces that normally don't join our AMAs. I'm glad to see that a different time zones allowed more people to actually join us. And yeah, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, these sessions are pretty casual. Typically, we start off with a couple of updates, and then, I'll answer any questions that are being asked in the chat. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just drop them in the main stage chat, and I will just get into them as we go along. You guys can all hear me, right? Just to confirm, Rafi says that I'm not audible. That is weird. Huh. Okay. Um Yellow Turtle says he can hear me. Martis says he can hear me. All right, all right. Awesome. If any point in time I cut off, please do let me know. But yeah, welcome, guys. So, just going to share my screen really quickly. And, all right, I think everyone can see my screen here. All right, awesome. What's up, Whitebird? All right, D-Boy says you can hear me. Pinkwater says you can hear me. All right, awesome. Yeah, guys, so welcome to today's AMA. And just going to give you guys a few quick updates. And yeah, basically, we have a few features that will be launched on Monday. So, initially we were planning to push these out on Thursday. There were some delays, and we decided against pushing it out on Friday. Typically, we don't launch any new updates on Friday in case there's any issues over the weekend. It's really tough for a team to come back. So we decided to just delay it to Monday. But yeah, next week you guys will see the Salad Hub that will be added to the site. So for those of you guys who are not familiar, Salad will be the latest currency that will be added to Arcaden. And basically, majority of the rewards that you'll be earning will be in the form of either collectibles or Salad, right? So the Salad Hub basically allows you to convert it to other rewards. We're starting off with just P credits for now, but we have plans to introduce Salad POS. So essentially, you'll be able to start earning Salad, convert it to Salad POS, which is on a Polygon chain, and you'll be able to withdraw these rewards into your wallet, right? So we're really excited to launch this feature. The first group of people that will be able to get the rewards, we're planning to distribute, some of the older rewards that are in Salad tokens. So essentially, if you are eligible for any rewards from whether it's the airdrop or from previous AMAs, make sure you have an Arcaden account, and rewards will be distributed in Salad. So once we're ready, yeah, so that will be in phase two. We're launching phase one first, and then phase two will allow withdrawals in terms of Solid POS, right? The next thing that we'll be pushing out, we're trying to get this out by before the end of the month, if it's doable. It would be minting and forging for V2 gems. So for all of you guys who have been sitting on thousands of collectibles such as such as C4, who has like, I don't know, 2,500 silver gems. He'll be able to start forging these into actual NFTs soon, and the rest of you guys, so you guys can start converting them into actual on-chain assets, right? So once you have these converted into collectibles, from the collectibles into the NFTs, you'll be able to start trading them as well. So, the key point of today's AMA, before we go into answering questions, is how do you actually earn on Arcaden, right? And what are the mechanics? So, I've been thinking about this question because obviously, it's quite complicated, and not everyone is like super Web3 savvy. Um, so, this is like the most simplified version that I could think of, right? Which is basically you need a character. You'll be able to get weapons and equip them, and using these weapons you'll be able to earn rewards, right? So for the most part you will be improving the combat points of your character, and you'll have multipliers as well. So for example, if you have the Club Seller Genesis pass, stuff like that, certain rewards you'll be able to get a multiple of them when you actually earn the rewards. And we're planning to introduce two forms of earning. So one is just staking. So that's really straightforward. You can stake your NFTs in different ways. And the other is just grinding, which would be kind of similar to like what you guys are doing with the daily rewards now, right? So you guys would just log in daily, and instead of just collecting daily rewards, you'll be able to challenge certain monsters, etc., for rewards, whether it's in M Salad or collectibles or slots. So this one, some of you might have seen it, but um, maybe not all of you. So when I mentioned character, I guess some of you guys are wondering what we're actually referring to. Essentially, there will be two characters that you'll be able to get on Arcaden. So one, it would be a Moxie, and Moxies are basically the NFTs that you will be able to get from the Salad Diamond, right? So um, anyone with a Salad Diamond, when we allow you guys to review, you'll be able to get one of 8,888 Moxies. And then for the rest of you who are not planning to purchase or have not purchased the Salad Diamond, you'll be able to grab like a standard Arcadian avatar. So the one that is on the left over here. We'll also have a female version, so fret not. But these will be basically like unlimited mints. We're planning to make them like super affordable, so that essentially anyone can just participate on Arcaden, right? And yeah, obviously, by having a Moxie, you do have certain benefits. So, like I mentioned, not only you'll have multipliers, but the main advantage for having a Moxie is that when you are equipping your equipment, you will have significantly more slots, right, than your standard Arcadian character. So, we're actually planning, the details haven't been confirmed yet, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of like, a standard Arcadian character can equip like maybe three weapons, and we're planning to let the Moxie equip like 10, right? So that's really just one of the main utilities and benefits of owning a Moxie. If you guys haven't minted it yet, there's still quite a few of them available, and this is basically the second time that we have mentioned with regards to like the utility of the Moxie with regards to Arcaden, right? So we're also planning to allow users to just mint these directly on Arcaden, on the Arcaden platform. So I think next week we should have it ready, and you guys will be able to use credits to purchase the Salad Diamond directly on your Arcaden account. So that will be part of next week's updates as well, right? Earlier on, I was talking about forging. So again, for those of you who are not too familiar with this, forging will just allow you guys to essentially like forge your weapon into the next tier. So we have bronze, silver, gold, rainbow, and you'll need the respective gems in order to up these up to the next tier. Another exciting piece of news is that this is a sneak peek. So we're actually introducing a Jade Dragon chest. So this will be for the Lunar New Year. So for those of you who have been waiting for new things to pull on the gacha, wait no further. So these will be released. There will also be a Dragon Heart collectible, which will be used as a material to upgrade some of these items. So more info on that once these will be released, but we're planning to push these out for the Lunar New Year season, right? Um, and yeah, another thing that I'm super excited to share is that our product team has started working on version 3 of Arcaden. So whatever you see now in Arcaden is V2. We will be finishing up V2 by sometime, I would say probably week 2 or week 3 of February. That's our goal. Latest, probably we could finish it by the end of Feb. And then in V3, we're going to have another huge upgrade, which includes like UI UX as well as just simplifying like some of the things as a whole, so that it's easier for users to navigate and also like new users to join, right? So what you're seeing here is just some of the screens that we're actually working on. Um, but we're planning to shift the menu to a side menu because we realize that if you're a whale and you have like I don't know 1 million something shards or like 100,000 credits, etc. You basically run out of space on the menu bar. So that's one of the reasons why we're making this adjustment. And you can see here these are just a sneak peek of some of the upcoming features. So anything you see with the red tag, these will be coming soon. But yeah, like basically this would be the new homepage, and this is also just a preview of the shop page that we'll be introducing. So the shop page would essentially combine like the Arcaden chest, the shard merchant, and any other form of reward that you can purchase in the future. So everything will be in one place. So as you can see here, like the chests will be in one tab. There'll be certain things that you can purchase with MSalad. You can purchase characters, artifacts, gems, etc. Right? So this will be, yeah, basically one of the bigger updates that we have. And I think that is pretty much it for all of the updates for this week and next, actually. For those of you who are new, I can see there are a couple of new people. Um, no worries, that's what an AMA is for, so feel free to ask any questions. I think that's that for my slides, so I'm just going to go to the last slide and leave this there, but I'm going to start looking through the questions now. And yeah, guys, like if anyone else has any questions, like feel free to drop them. I'm just going to read through these questions. So Bharathi's first question says, okay, so there's one by John who says, what's the quickest way for new users to begin earning on Arcaden, right? So not financial advice, but as with all games, there's two routes, right? So it's either free to play or pay to win. And obviously to ensure that the economy is balanced, people who pay to win are going to earn more. And people who are free to play, they're not going to earn as much, right? That's why we have mechanics like combat points, like multipliers put in place to accommodate different types of players. So the quickest way, honestly, is just to create an account and start like farming. Whether it's just getting the shards to open chests or topping up credits to open like the credit chests, right, for the weapons. But the main focus is primarily going to be on weapons. So I would say start farming weapons as soon as possible because that's going to determine your earnings. So Bharati mentions what's the plan for newcomers in Arcaden. I think one of the things that I'm working on personally is the flow for any newcomers. So they would do is click here to get started. How we imagine it is basically just explain it to them like, look, you need a character, you need some equipment, and you can either manually challenge bosses, or you can stake your character to just earn passively, right? So anyone that comes in, they would have a selection. So let's say they can either mint, let's say, a Arcadian character, a standard Arcadian character for maybe 1 credit, or they can mint a salad diamond to get a moxie for 888 credits, right? So it's purely optional. We're also planning to, so once they pick the character, then we'll say, we have 3 starter packs. You can pick one of the 3. So the default would be all the beginner equipment, which we're planning to introduce. So that would be either the apprentice weapons or the wooden weapons from the rainbow range. So the beginner weapons, the bronze weapons, and the silver weapons, these will be offered as packages for anyone who's just starting out. And then, once they complete this flow, they'll be able to start earning immediately, right? So it's a lot more intuitive that way. And then they can take their time to figure out the other aspects of the platform. um, so I think Yellow Turtle asked if MSeller will substitute shards. So no, it won't. Um, Basically, shards. Oh, I guess you guys can think about it like, in games, most games typically have different currencies, right? So you have gold, you have, I don't know, magic stones, you have gems and lumber and stuff like that. So for credits, and shards and M salad, like each of these are going to be different currencies. But for M salad, it's basically, the monetary reward, right? So any monetary reward that you earn from Arcaden will be given to you in M salad. Um, it's just an additional step, so that users can actually choose whether or not they want to cash out, right? Because some games, what they do is, you can just earn the token and it goes straight into your wallet, but then users would have to like deposit it again to get credits if that's what they wanted to do. So having M sell it, it allows you to choose, right? So you can accumulate M sell it first, and then if you want to redraw it, you can redraw it as salad tokens. But if you want to just put it back into your account and continue farming, you can just convert it into credits immediately, right? We're also planning to have the option to like, um, convert M salad into shards as well once there's more utility for that. But that's the gist of it. It's not replacing shards at all. So, what strategies do you suggest for maximizing earnings for users who are just starting out? I would say just do daily rewards, because that's the most consistent way to earn shards at the moment. And so let's see. Zach says, "How long will the 5x campaign run?" It is a permanent campaign, right? So the main reason is because we understand that, because the solid token is currently only on ETH, the gas fees are high. So in order to encourage you guys to use Salad to top up, we need to give significantly more in terms of the credits, right? So yeah, it's going to be a permanent feature. Um, and it will also be implemented for Sell POS once Sell POS is in circulation. The promo runs for both Sell ETH and Sell POS. Why do you need a Salad passport in the system, and how does it differ from Club Salad Access Pass? I'm guessing the Club Salad Genesis Pass. So Salad Passport was um, originally from our Galaxy campaign, right? So it ensured that all the users are KYC'd. For the foreseeable future, we don't expect to continue using it on Arcaden. But because of the people who have gotten it before, we're just giving slight perks to you guys, right? So you'll start seeing like some of the older NFTs that are phased out, but if you own them still, you're gonna get like small benefits throughout Arcaden. For the Club Salad Access Pass or Club Salad Genesis Pass, there's only 200 of those. So anyone who owns a CSGP, as we call it, typically you're going to get a multiplier across the board for all the different earning mechanics. So we've done that multiple times already, and we are planning to continue doing that. Are we going to introduce forge function as well? Yeah, we are. So, like I mentioned earlier, forging as well as minting, we're targeting for it to come out by mid February. Transaction fee will be paid in credits. So, anything that is related to gas fees will be paid in P credits only. So, just to clarify, for those of you who don't know, if you check out your Arcaden account at the top right, you will be able to see that you know credits have two different forms. So one, it is paid credits. One is free credits, right? So any bonus that you get, you are going to get the bonuses in F credits primarily, and only P credits can be used for gas, right? So the main reason for that is because like gas fees are paid directly to the chains. So if the chain charges is $1, um, and we let you guys get like $10 worth of credits, like we're just going to be losing a ton of money, right? So this system allows us to give you guys bonus credits still, but for the free credits, you can only use them for chess at the moment or games, right? Anything that's not related to gas. So yeah, for minting and forging, P credits will be required. Transaction will be done on credits, so there's no chain. We're using a relayer for that. Is it possible to really start earning with Arcaden, or is the stage yet to come? By Carlos. We're planning to. So earlier on, I was mentioning the different earning mechanics that we have, and essentially it's a character weapons equals earnings, right? So we're planning to introduce um, the quest feature over the next couple of weeks. So daily challenges, that will be, I believe, the first earning mechanic that we'll be introducing. It will be very similar to how you guys are doing daily rewards now, except that you're just going to see a page with a bunch of different monsters there. You'll be able to click challenge, and to do it once a day for a start, and then we're planning to increase the frequency, right? So um, once that feature is live, you'll be able to earn on a daily basis, and the rewards are going to be in M Salad. So this is coming up very soon. Hopefully, we'll be able to push it out in the next couple of weeks. It's a priority at the moment. So let's see. How about Arcaden League? It'll be all-time record or monthly for each season. So Arcaden League, we're gonna have like um, multiple ways that people can participate. Each method of competing is going to have a separate prize pool. So that one we're going to make adjustments depending on the activities and that we're going to have from the users. So we'll see how that goes. More details on that to come. But the reason why the league is delayed is primarily just because it's contingent on the minting contract going live, and we're still finalizing some details there before launching. Mint sell a diamond on Arcaden platform using Arcaden credits. How much in credits it will be is defined already. So it would be the exact same amount as minting it with Salad tokens now. So let's say if you were to mint it now, I believe it's 888 Salad. Um, so it'll be 888 credits for the current phase. Um, will Arcaden allow other chains in the future, and Arcaden Marketplace will be multi-chain? So I think that in terms of the on-chain or any on-chain activities, we're definitely planning to be multi-chain. And the way to be multi-chain is essentially making use of relayers, right? So that's why we have things like collectibles. We have things like the credits instead of just accepting one specific token. By having an off-chain currency or an off-chain asset, it allows us to just integrate with the different chains at the payment side of things. And then everything else is basically paid through a relayer, right? So you could use any token from any chain essentially, as long as we integrate it to top up. And then after that, everything that happens is just paid through our own wallets. Like we'll convert the currency and we'll pay the gas. So if you guys have any chains that you have a bunch of bags on, preferably EVMs, but if there's any specific currency that you would like to see integrated with Arcaden, feel free to let us know as well. Polygon address for Solid's on its way. Yes, is it possible to send Solid from CX to wallet, or CX will be using ETH only? I'm assuming. So there's already the contract is already live, so we've already created a bridge for the Solid token onto Polygon. Um, the problem is that ETH is super expensive now, so gas is like ridiculously high. That's why we haven't been promoting it, and we're working on we're looking into like creating a liquidity pool so that when people get sell at POS, they're able to cash out. But at the moment, only Sell at ETH is available on exchanges. Using gold weapons chests, I have a lot of collectibles, nothing of others. Some collectibles don't exist yet, all of them, but Celestials in particular. Um, so if you look at the Arcaden chest page, as long as the item is listed here, it has been added into the chest, right, according to the percentage. So I can guarantee that like all of these are definitely inside the chest. But obviously, if you guys are talking about certain weapons that are displayed on or the eggs, the celestials, or let's say the artifact weapons that you see here, these are not released yet. We're just displaying it on the profile page at the moment. So yeah, to answer that question, if you see it in the drop rates section, it'll be inside. Uh, you know, Percentage wise, it's quite a low percentage to actually get it. But just to let you guys know, like how this works is we basically have to set a quantity of whatever is inside. So let's say we put 10,000 NFTs inside. We will divide it according to the percentage. So yeah, like it's really just a probability thing. But all of the NFTs listed here are definitely inside for sure. What's the expected active players in the first month after launch? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, honestly, we haven't been doing much marketing for Arcaden, uh, or anything in general. I think this is like really important for me personally, right? So um, I think a lot of games or a lot of projects like they hype things up at the beginning and they do a bunch of sales to get people to spend money with them, but the product isn't ready, or there's literally nothing there, right? So personally, I think it's not something that I like to do because I feel like it's super irresponsible to sell something that that isn't going to that isn't live yet, or isn't anywhere going to be live yet. So we haven't marketed Arcaden or even like the Solid Diamond in general, right? I think a couple of you have mentioned before that, oh, the sales is pretty bad, like not many people have minted it, which is true. But the only way that we have marketed it was like, we just posted it on our Twitter and we sent out a couple of emails, right? So we haven't engaged any KOLs since we TGE last year. And yeah, like we've just really been focusing on building the best possible product that we can, and just sharing a lot of this information with community members like yourself, right? So you're not going to see me hyping this up and getting influencers to shill it just yet. Um, I think as of now we have probably like a few, you know, I think 200 to 300 at least daily active users. So like on a weekly basis, we have like a couple of thousand people, right? Unique people that are joining, and we have like top ups coming in every day now, which is very healthy. It's not retirement money, far from it, but it's good traction for the project, right? And we're very optimistic about how things are going to go. So, details about daily mythical boss challenges. Yeah, so I just mentioned about that. Primarily, it's going to be very similar to the daily rewards page. So, for example, you'll just come here to the quest page. You'll see like a list of bosses that you can challenge, some of the requirements, and then you'll be able to challenge them like once a day to get either M seller or collectibles as the reward. So the mechanic is very similar to daily rewards. Once we start creating NFTs, which chain will be used? So we're planning to launch V2 gems on Polygon. Is it already possible to bridge solid token from ETH to Polygon? If so, which bridge has the liquidity to do so? Yes, it's possible. Um, but the like so we I believe we transferred like um, some of the solid ETH to wait, no, sorry, we bridged some of the tokens already, so I believe it's already possible to bridge it. um, I'm not too certain with regards to the actual details because we don't plan to announce this anytime soon just yet, so just hang on that, I would say, Carlos, because like the gas was super expensive. I think we tried it out and it was like 40 or 50 US dollars just to bridge once. So it's like super ridiculously expensive. We're trying to find a better solution for that. So can we explain the revenue stream for Arcaden and how to achieve circular economy for Salad, Arcaden, Maslow, and Apollo? Okay, that's a really long answer to that question, Martis. So I will answer that towards the end. But let me see some other questions first. I just noted that one. Um, we have various weapons now and daily monster quests. Are there plans of giving the weapon special abilities versus the monster, so to say? Yes, the AMA is recorded. Answering the easy part first. Um, Abilities wise, I think honestly we plan to do so, but it hasn't been scoped out yet, right? So the most basic mechanic is really just by combat points, and the reason why we haven't planned like abilities and stuff like that is because every feature that we introduce into Arcaden affects the economy, right? So to the user, it may not seem like it, but for example, right, um, if a weapon has a certain amount of combat points, right? So let's say a legendary weapon, we have to decide, okay, what is the ratio for combat points to earnings, right? And compare it to how much the user would have to spend in order to get that amount of combat points. We have to think about what happens if there's only 10 users compared to if there are 10,000 users? Is it still going to be worth their while? What if we introduce a new weapon and then it breaks things because it's too overpowered? So every feature or mechanic that is introduced makes it even more complicated, right? And we're very careful about mentioning these things or releasing these things, which is what majority of the time is of my time at least is spent on. There's really a lot of math that's involved, so I think for now the main thing is just combat points. I think the next thing that we'll be looking into, probably in terms of stats, is like defense, right? So we're working on armor sets as well. Those will be introduced, and then we'll have combat points plus defense for the start. But stuff like elements, special abilities, etc. Like we're definitely looking into that, and hopefully we can launch that in the future. Um, we need to onboard people that's not in Web3 space already. What strategies do you guys have in place to achieve this? I think like the main thing is just to make it as non-crypto. Well, how do I put this right? So anyone that's not in Web3, I would say that the definition of someone who has no idea what Web3 is someone who can't even use like a MetaMask, right? So I think um, most people would give an answer and say that education is the way to go. Like we have to teach them how to use it and stuff like that. But there are literally companies like Binance. Every exchange in the world is trying to educate users, and it's really really hard, right? Personally, I don't think that's a battle that we can participate in. Our way to kind of like attract the Web3 or the Web2 crowd is just to have um, the on-chain elements to be optional per se, right? So that's why, let's say, if we allowed them to use fiat to top up, they could participate using collectibles instead of NFTs, and then NFTs are optional for them. I think these are ways that we can allow non-crypto native people to participate, because obviously they know what a credit card is, right? If they don't even know what that is, then it's going to be tough. So yeah, I think that's mainly it. So calendar sequence for Q1 events, compendium page, Magical Forge and Blacksmith Forge League. Um, yeah, so question by Salad. I think just check out the roadmap, like in terms of the Notion page. Um, for all the upcoming feature releases, those will be in the testing phase. So I'm going to just pull out this tab really quickly. But if you guys go to the Arcaden public roadmap, I've mentioned this before, but there are basically uh, different phases here. If you look at the testing phase, these are the ones that will be introduced next. Everything that's work in progress, these are things that our developers or the rest of our team are currently working on. And then planning is just basically we're still crunching out either the numbers or just the concept, right? So anything that's work in progress, it's like we already have we're starting on the code, like we're starting on the designs, etc. Testing phase, it's like it's already up and running. We just making sure that it's not going to break when we launch it. Is Arcaden ecosystem success strongly related to the solid token success? Um, I would say it's definitely related. In terms of how strongly, I'm not too sure because I'm not an economist. Uh, but obviously because Salad is the main token of the company. It affects like certain things in terms of our operations, etc. Right? So, but I think like Arcaden in itself. Um, as part of the Solid ecosystem, it is going to be affected by Solid tokens. But at the moment, because we're accepting other currencies and all of that, I think it's not super reliant on it. Like if there isn't a Solid token, Arcaden can still run. But if Arcaden does well, then the Solid token will do well as well, right? So I think it's work. It's definitely related, at least in that aspect. Boober says he's liking this. A lot of details. That's cool. When we redeem M Salad to Salad, can we choose redemption of Salad to Polygon or Eve? We're planning to only do it for Polygon. Again, it's just mainly because um, Eve is going to be super expensive, but I think we can allow you guys to redraw it as Salad Eve for sure. But I think not many people are going to use that, to be honest, Mardis. Zin says, "Can I mint 3 to 4 Salad diamonds? There's no limit to how much you can mint." Joywater mentions that you have to make it like a casino and a war game, so people will love to spend more. Um, I would say that there are going to be some gaming elements, like coin flip elements to Arcaden for sure, and that will be introduced in starting off with the daily challenges with the bosses and all that. But we don't want to make it just like a gambling site where people come here and just toss money all the time. Like we do those events on Discord for the fun of it, but I think as a product, there are like thousands of online casinos, and most of them don't actually make any money, and it's just boring, right? So I think any gaming elements for sure, gaming as in terms of like casino gaming elements, those we will definitely implement, but not so we're not going to put a roulette machine into Arcaden tomorrow. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and okay, so I'm going to scroll back up to answer Mardis' question, because I believe there's no other questions as of now. That was like so revenue stream for Arcaden, how to achieve circular economy for Salad token, on Arcaden, Maslow, and Apollo. So um, I think so. I'll break this down into a couple of different aspects. I think first of all, Arcaden is a product of Salad, right? And Maslow and Academy are separate products. Um, and we're all linked because Salad is the main company, and there's one token that's going to be used across these products. So I think the key thing is that each product needs to have its own economy, right? It can't work in a way where Arcaden's losing money and then only Academy's making money, etc. Like I think any product that's created by Salad needs to be self-sufficient, and then all of them just feed back into the main company. Obviously, like if it takes time to get to a point of profitability, but I think like taking time to get to that point and not having it in place is completely different. So just wanted to clarify on that, right? So for revenue stream on Arcaden, I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm trying to find that um, there's a list, but let me just take a look really quick. Distribution. 1 second. So we have. I'm just confirming that this is the correct one. Uh, okay, so basically the list, like Arcadian's planning to make money in several ways, right? So first of all, the main flow of income is definitely from credit top ups. And credits are used for several things, right? So whether it is for forging and upgrading fees um, for the NFTs, or users are spending it on the mini games, the arcade games, gas and transaction fees. Um, will allow users to purchase like collectibles and shards in the future using credits such as like the credit chest. We're also planning to like introduce like breeding. So that's something that I actually haven't talked about before. But if you guys have seen the celestials or the eggs in the profile page, breeding is something that we're also looking into. Um, and yeah, of course, the PvP element, that's also something that is going to be big. And of course, we have a NFT marketplace that's in the works as well, right? So these are all like ways to use credits on Arcaden as a platform. And, we make money whenever these features are being used, right? And of course like the company also makes money from the token, right? That's why every crypto project has its own treasury. If the product is doing well, people are buying the tokens, then that's how we also cash out, and we use that fund to go back to spend on the product. So that's the way that we plan to generate revenue, which is why a lot of the things that I focus on personally as a product is just whether or not it's something that I personally would use and spend money on, and how we are planning to expand on it on the future, right? So there needs to be continuity, and we can't just be like reliant on trends, right? So I think that's a mistake that a lot of projects do, where it's like a certain trend comes into play, um, and then suddenly like the trend dies and the whole project dies with it, right? So I think um, for us, like being able to adapt and adjust the product to accommodate like new trends very quickly to get users and market share is very important, right? So the way that I see it is like I'm building a product that has a general direction, but if there are new things that come in, we can definitely like add it in, right? It's not too fixed as a product. And I think that's also one of the reasons why like building a triple A game and stuff like that, it's not very appealing to me personally, because there are a lot of studios trying to do this. And some of you may know gaming is like a super difficult industry to penetrate. 95% of your success is dependent on a distributor, distributor to circulate your game, right? Which in Web3 there's really only Sky Mavis at the moment that has that kind of user base. Um, so it's really hard, right? And even in Web2, if you guys play games like in the last 10 years, like there's very very few games who have managed to launch successfully and get market share. There's a reason why like League of Legends and Dota are still around after a decade. And a lot of games like even Valorant and stuff like that, they come out and they're not doing so well, right? So I think being able to launch things quickly is super important, because otherwise, like if you're going to spend 2 years to build a game and then after 3 months of launching the market's not interested, then you're kind of screwed, right? um, so I think that's definitely something that we want to avoid. um, okay, okay, nice, nice. I seen Arcaden Arcade is really good gaming. How you think Solid versus Arcaden as a brand can be differentiated from a generic name? um, Arcaden is the main product of Salad. It's like the Gmail of Google. Okay, that's like a good way of putting it. But I think like a better comparison is like Salad's kind of like Sky Mavis, right? And then Arcaden is like Axie Infinity. Um, or let's say CryptoPunks. I forgot what's the parent company name, but essentially like Sell It is like the main organization, and then Arcaden is the product that's owned by it. So users are able to sell the NFTs that we get from the crafts on third-party Arcaden platform, or on the same Arcaden platform or third-party marketplace. So all NFTs will be tradable. We're not preventing you guys from trading it. It needs to be transferable anyways for the NFT to be burned and forged and stuff like that, right? So for a start, you guys will be able to trade it on OpenSea. Um, yeah, because obviously V1 it was on BNB chain, so OpenSea doesn't allow new listings for BNB chain collections anymore, but Polygon is fine. So the moment minting goes live, you guys can start earning through that, minting and selling these on OpenSea. And then we plan to introduce our own marketplace, which would also allow users to purchase it using Sell It, right? So I think that's the main reason why we even consider building a marketplace. I mean, aside from having everything in one place, but it's also just so that we keep it within the same platform. Okay, awesome. Wow. This went on for almost an hour actually. I'm quite surprised there were so many questions today. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna drink some water and give you guys a minute or two for any last questions. Marketplace will change Arcaden all in one place. Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, I feel like marketplaces are a little bit like overrated, to be very honest. Um, it's actually not super difficult to build, but the problem with a marketplace is that um, if you're just building it for your own collection and there's not enough liquidity, then it's challenging, right? And you don't get the benefit of like users that are already on the platform. So, like for example, if you guys trade it on OpenSea and the collection trends, people will be able to see it, right? And they'll find out about Arcaden, and they may be bullish and they get into it, and that gives the collection more liquidity, more trading volume. But if it's just on Arcaden in itself, then it's tough because like we don't have that level of trust or reputation for a user that is new. So only like all the OGs and the people who are actually active will be trading on it, right? So I think even though we want to have our own marketplace, but it's also important not to stop users from trading on other platforms. I think one of the things that we're definitely looking into is to once the collection goes live, like to promote it, and then push users to OpenSea so that they can see that as well. So that's part of the strategy that we have in place. Took longer and more fun than I thought. Um, yeah, I mean it beats like not having anyone ask questions. That's for sure. But it's almost 3 a.m. my time, so I'm not sure what's the definition of fun. Um, could Arcaden be a marketplace for gaming and general interacting with seller partners? Um, yeah, I mean that's something that we thought about. So like we have partners. We had like one collection that we worked on with a partner, right? The Social Cat NFT. So we're planning to do some collabs with them on Arcaden as well. So that collection will be integrated onto Arcaden. But essentially, that's how Immutable X like built their marketplace, right? Like any project that integrates with their chain also lists on their marketplace. I think if we had our own chain, then it would kind of make sense because I feel like to be a proper massive ecosystem like that involves other projects, like a chain is probably necessary. Um, but if it's just for a couple of projects, then again, the liquidity may not make enough sense. Uh, Ultra.io, interesting. I will take a look at that, Martis, but thanks for the recommendation. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's been a great time, guys. And can you introduce more games into Arcaden? I think one of the things that we're looking into, or we were looking into, was like adjusting the games, having new ones, and then reskinning the existing ones so that we use our own IP, right? Like all the Moxies and the gems and stuff. But like we're just super packed now trying to get all the MSelid stuff up as well as the minting stuff. So we haven't had time to work on that. But I think before introducing new games, one of the things that we want to revamp is just allowing users to choose how many credits they want to use per game. So people, like Joywater, who has like 500,000 credits, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have time to play like 100,000 games, right? But if he could choose to put like 10,000 credits per game and then get the respective shards and rewards, then I'm sure more people would actually play it. So I think that's something that we want to introduce first, and then possibly add new games after. Multiplayer would be more fun, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. I think the first, well, there wouldn't really be a multiplayer aspect, but there will be like a PvP aspect. That's something that, definitely is important. So I think PvP as well as like guild versus guild. One of the things that I'm also working on is to um, is for some of you who may know, Cellet used to have another product called Guild OS, and Guild OS was essentially like a tool for guilds to manage their scholars, right, and all of the assets. So what we're looking at is possibly integrating the code that we built on Guild OS into Arcaden, and introducing like a guild feature, so that people can run their own guilds and actually have a dashboard and all of that. So um, that's kind of what I mean by being able to adapt. I think we spent almost a year like building the tech, and then GameFi essentially died, right? But now that the market's coming back, GameFi is coming back, and Arcaden seems to be able to make use of that technology. So we're finding the best possible way to integrate it. Um, so yeah, I think that pretty much is it. And can you introduce watch videos and earn salad tokens method in Arcaden? For sure. When it's live, we'll definitely have the videos available. So currently, it's really just um, if we do a feature launch, then typically we talk about the features and we'll already have the tutorials. But today, like I mentioned, we probably won't be launching new things every week, but we want to at least be able to give you guys some updates, as well as answer some questions, right? So, um, yeah, guys, I think we've hit the 1 hour mark. Uh, if anyone else has any questions, I will take one more. Otherwise, I am going to call it a night. It's always when I say the last question and then 50 people will ask. Oh, okay. No one's asking. Okay, cool. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome, guys. Um, yeah, I think there aren't any more questions at the moment. I'll see you guys around in the clubhouse. Next week, I'm actually going back to national service for my reservists, so I'll be back in the army for a couple of weeks. But I'll do my best to be active because thankfully I can still use my phone. But appreciate you guys for hopping on, man, and glad to see some new faces. All right. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Our team will also sort out like all the chips and stuff for the ongoing event, so no worries on that. You guys are in very good hands. So have a really good day or good night wherever you guys are, and see you at the next one. Take care, guys.